What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Breaking Mediocrity. Now, look, man. Obviously, this whole Joe Biden stepping down, or getting booted out, whatever it is, and Kamala Harris is looking like she will be the nominee for the election. Hey, it's not going as well as some people are probably thinking. I mean, obviously, we have seen the poster. I've seen people put on Facebook and other things saying, with the poster of Kamala saying that I'm with her. We don't know 100% if she's going to be the Democratic nominee for the election, but it's looking like it's going to be that way. I mean, look, within 24 hours, she's raised millions and millions of dollars towards her campaign. So, but here's the thing, all right? Not everybody's down with it. It's not like, this is guaranteeing a whole bunch of black people to vote for Kamala to be president. I mean, look, black men are talking, black men are speaking against it, and you even have some black women speaking against it as well, including everybody's favorite black woman that Democrats don't like. I'm just joking around. Anyway, Candace Owens, here's what she had to say about Kamala Harris.
So they understand that it will look really bad if they do not lean in to saying that they really do want Kamala, but even that feels a bit performative to me, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm starting to see articles creep out, and they seem like attacks on Kamala. Again, if we can go into our time machine and go back to 2020, well, every time that someone tried to interject the truth about Kamala, which is that she slept her way to the top, it's a fact. She was with some 6-year-old man, got her start in the political career, and they would go, oh my gosh, how dare you say this? That's so sexist. Well, then suddenly on July 6th, the Daily Mail actually published a headline about the fact that Kamala Harris was, thoughting through life. And they basically said she got her political start, her political upstart, because she was dating this guy, Willie, can't think of his last name right now. And he was married and he was in his 60s, and Kamala Harris was just a spring chicken. And that is how she entered the political scene. So she was not somebody who was a part of their ecosystem, but they tapped her in 2020 because they were like, oh, like the thing that we always say is that, look at the Republican Party, it's so white and there's no diversity, and how are we going to be able to say that if we're running Joe Biden, who has been extraordinarily wealthy his entire life and whose son is becoming extraordinarily wealthy while smoking crack simply because he's doing dirty deals in Ukraine? So what are we going to do? We're going to hire Kamala Harris. We're going to select Kamala Harris to be the vice president. And he's the only person I can think of. And then we can sell. I know that when she was sworn into Congress, she was talking about how she's an Indian, but we'll just sell the people, like, forget the Indian side, like now she's back to black. And the streets are talking, ha 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 ha. And that's what they did. So that is the only reason that Kamala Harris, they literally did not have another person that they felt could be the vice president and allow them to use the isms. You don't like her, you're a sexist. You don't think that she's amazing, you're a misogynist, deep-seated misogyny. You don't want this ticket to win. Is it because Kamala Harris is black? Kinda. I feel like it is. It's because you're a racist. So they just needed her to do the thing.
Owens had to say about Kamala Harris sleeping her way. Look, I am not even going to get into that. I'm not going to disrespect Kamala Harris in any way. I'm not going to disrespect anybody as I'm talking about this. But I just want to say this. I love black women. I'm married to one of the most wonderful black women in the planet, and I also have 4 children. 3 of them are girls, and they're gonna grow up to be 3 excellent black women. I have black women that are role models in my life. I wrote a book called Don't Push Me with multiple points of view, and many of them were black women. So I'm not against black women whatsoever. I just like to say about this in regards to the election. It is not, I don't think anybody should vote for somebody because they are a black woman. And needless to say, Kamala is not. Some people are saying she's not black. She is half black. She is half black, and she is half Indian. That she is biracial. All right. To be on the real, Candace Owens is more black than Kamala Harris, even though some people would strongly disagree, but it's the truth, right? But here's what I gotta say about this is that I was watching Anton Daniels, his video yesterday, and he had a big old panel, and people were talking about, Kamala Harris, whether she would be the right fit for president or not. And he asked one of the ladies who was a black woman, and he goes, who are you gonna vote for in the election? And she said, I'm gonna probably vote for Kamala. And they asked why, and she just flat out said, because she's a black woman, just like me. No other explanation. That was her. I appreciate her honesty, but what she said is what a lot of people are going to do. They're gonna vote for Kamala because she is a black woman, she's black, and she's a woman. And representation. I understand that. But we have to realize that when it comes to politics, we have to overlook so much the person themselves and look at the system behind it. Vivek had a video last week, and no, not last week, yesterday, and he was saying that when you vote for Democrats, you're not voting for the person, you're voting for the system. And that's what I believe when it comes to politics, is whether you are voting conservative, liberal, whatever it is, you're not really voting for the person. You're voting for the system. You're voting for the policies they put in place. You're voting for what they stand for and what they're going to implement, right? For the last 4 years, you've had Biden in power, but we are understanding, because Biden is an old 81 and not a young 81. During those 4 years prior to now, he obviously all those decisions weren't Biden 100% Biden. Kamala had a lot to do with those decisions. So moving forward, if you decide, hey, I'm gonna vote for Kamala, you gotta realize that you're not just voting for a black woman, you're voting for the policies that she stands for. So in doing that, we all gotta do our research. Whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Kamala Harris, you gotta do your research. And you gotta look at it as, okay, if I vote for this person because I like how they look, they're beautiful, they have a good personality, you gotta realize that if you put your vote in and they start implementing stuff that is against your standards, against your beliefs, against your values, you gotta look back and say, well, I voted for this person. And you gotta stand by your vote for the next 4 years. So, that being said, you don't like Trump, okay? You don't like Trump. You think he's a narcissist, you think he's a racist, you think he's a white supremacist, you think of whatever it is. Or you think just flat out he's ugly. Whatever it is. Is that enough reason to not vote for him? For some people it is. But you gotta look at the policies, what they want to implement. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And especially if you're a person of faith, you have to, I don't believe this whole thing, separate church and state. Church and state go together, whether we like it or not. And you have to look at, when you vote for a party, are they gonna represent your faith? They may not have to be a Christian or not, or whatever you believe in, Christian, Muslim. They don't have to exactly be that kind of person, but are they gonna respect the faith that you believe in? Are they gonna try to water it down? Are they gonna try to wipe it completely? Because over the years, I don't know, I've been seeing, especially with the Democrats, is that they want Christians to vote for them, but that doesn't mean that they want to instill Christian values. I mean, you just gotta look over the years. I mean, I don't know. Everybody says they go to church, so for you going to church doesn't implement whether you're a Christian or not. It's about what you stand for, what you represent. And I'm not here to say that Kamala Harris is a Christian. I'm not here to say Joe Biden's a Christian. I'm not here to say Donald Trump is a Christian, because I don't believe any of them are Christians. They could have some Christian beliefs, but unless they flat out say that they are a Christian, I'm not gonna believe that they're Christian. I'm not gonna make that assumption. But like what I'm saying here is that, you know, it's not a guarantee that Kamala is gonna get all the black votes. I mean, I can honestly say now, she won't get all of the black votes. It's not gonna be like in 2008 when President Obama got in. It's not gonna be that same way. And speaking of Obama, he hasn't endorsed Kamala Harris yet. Doesn't that bring some suspicions right there? This is not 100% guarantee that Kamala's getting in. Is there something else going on? We shall see. We shall wait and see. Who knows? I don't know. Is Michelle Obama planning to come back into the office? I mean, if that's the case, then it could be another story within itself. But a real big story within itself. So, so yeah, that's all I can say. That's all I gotta say about that. You know what I mean? Do not vote based on skin color or representation itself. This is not a Big Brother reality show where a few years ago they had the cookout and they had the first black winner. This is not that situation. This is not a reality show. This is not just a game. This is the president of the United States, who is one of the biggest leaders of the planet. So that being said, make a wise decision on who you're gonna vote for. Vote for policies that represent you well, represent your country well, represent your faith well. That should be over who the person is. And that's all I gotta say about that. Like, share, and subscribe to Breaking Mediocrity. If you disagree with what I said, that's cool. Put it in the comments. If you agree with what I say, put it in the comments. I want some subscribers. Send me some subscribers. Anyway, God bless. Have a great night. I am out. Peace.